After retaking Whiteholm Castle, Roland assumes the throne. Joy over the return of the line of Glenbrook sweeps the kingdom. Yet not everyone is quick to welcome Roland back with open arms. Life under Frosty rule treated them well, and they suspect him to be naught but a figurehead of a puppet regime. Roland's absence, it seems, made room for discord among his subjects to flourish.
Chapitre 15, Acte 1, les bannières du roi s'avancent. Et bienvenue pour le chapitre 15, nouvelle session pour ma part. Je vous laisse apprécier.
There you are, Your Majesty.
Ah, Huette.
Pray, do not sound so dismal. Now that we have retaken Whiteholm Castle, you are Glenbrook's rightful king. We've an entire kingdom to rebuild out of the ruins of war. Patriot and the others have been demanding utmost haste.
I understand that, I do. But... Oh, Cordelia. If I should lose you too, I
know you have suffered many hardships, but pray, do not let yourself succumb to despair. Me, our comrades, your people, all of us are eagerly awaiting the era of peace our new king will bring.
King, eh? My father never once let his emotions overcome him. Not even the day my mother died. I had every intention of following his stoic example, but...
Majesty, I bring word from the infirmary.
Is it Cordelia? Pray tell me she is all right.
She is indeed recovering apace, Your Majesty.
Oh, thank the stars.
It seems she has something to discuss with you all, if you will hear her out.
Of course. Tell her we'll speak in the garden, but only if it will not tax her over much.
Yes, sire.
Huette, fetch Serenor and the rest. Tell them to come to the garden as soon as they are able.
'Twould be my pleasure.
What is it? You're smiling.
It's only... I thought it would be some time yet before I saw you look so at ease. I'll return shortly with the others.
Cordelia, you've returned to me after so long. But slow and steady is the path to recovery. Yes, there is no rush. So that is what happened in my absence.
Yes. Gustadolf was a clever ruler. After the invasion, Patriot and his royalists cozied up to Esfrost in order to protect themselves. Gustadolf used them to his every advantage. He stripped them of their privileges and left them nothing but their governing responsibilities. I don't think Patriot much cared for that, but it did ensure everything continued smoothly, without interrupting the people's lives.
Now I understand why there was little unrest after the occupation began.
A clean, effective takeover by a well-seasoned commander.
But all the while, he was preparing to face the next conflict.
Wait, does he intend to march on Hyzant next?
I believe so. I wish I could be more specific. But the Goddess's shield cannot protect the Holy State's capital from Esfrost. Not anymore. He said it will all be over once the Death Snell is ready.
What is this Death Snell?
A new weapon born from the coupling of his frosty ironworking and explosive projectiles. Valis claimed it is powerful enough to break through the Goddess's shield.
To think Esfrost is capable of creating such a monstrosity.
Ah, so much for their reign of peace. Taking over Glenbrook was only the first move in a bigger gambit to seize the source.
I am disturbed to learn of Gustadolf's plan. But rebuilding our capital must take priority.
Very well. We should investigate the extent of the damage and discuss how best to proceed from there. House Wolffort will lend whatever aid you need.
Thank you, Serenor. But since you are one of their saintly 7 now, I'd ask you to keep an eye on Hyzance as well.
Cordelia? Apologies. A brief spell of dizziness.
I have been looking everywhere for you, Your Highness.
Patriot.
I do not recall giving you leave of the infirmary. Your injuries are still healing. Would you undo all the trouble I went through to get you the best of care? Pray, return to the infirmary at once.
It wouldn't do to push yourself, Cordelia. Rest now. Leave everything to me.
All right.
We got a pretty good understanding of the damage in the capital, my lord. It's a tad more than we were expecting.
I see. Then we must make haste with repairs. Let's report this to Hyzant and see what aid they can give us. Was there anything of note besides damage?
There ain't an easy way of putting this, but not everyone's exactly pleased to hear Prince Roland's return. Esfrost exempted Glenbrook's subjects from the salt tax. Likely a bid to get in everyone's good graces. And a damn good one at that. But more than that, the so-called freedom Gustadolf brought to the kingdom seems to have made a splash. He threw out the old ways and made it so anyone could better their lot in life depending on their ability, instead of their birthright.
Just as in Esfrost.
Then the people must have looked quite favorably upon Gustadolf's rule.
I wager folks ain't too pleased to see us, since they figure it means things will go back to how they used to be.
Roland surmised as much. We must do something to show the people his is a return worth celebrating.
Anna, have you looked into the state of affairs in the castle?
Yes. The head of the Royalists, Minister Patriot, is extending his influence. He made quite the name for himself, even under Gustadolf. Though he seems eager enough to support King Roland, he was just as eager to serve the Archduke. I do not believe we can trust him.
Distinguished members of House Wolffort, how hard you are all working to rebuild our capital. What a delightful thing to see.
Minister, you do us a great honor visiting us out of all the many other responsibilities that must vie for your attention.
Oh, come now, do not think yourself so insignificant. The entire kingdom owes you its thanks, myself included, of course. We are so grateful for House Wolffort's aid, even though you now serve a different master.
We are only doing what any of King Roland's loyal vassals would.
Speaking of the king, I'm afraid we've a bit of a problem. His Majesty seems to be entertaining thoughts of retaliating against Esfrost. But the people have had their fill of war, and I'm sure you're already aware the people look upon the royal line with disfavor. I only beg you take every care going forward.
A warning.
Even so, there is naught we can do but focus on rebuilding.
Indeed. Let us return to the king and apprise him of our progress.
I would walk the city with Sheila a bit longer and speak with the people.
As you wish. But this is not the capital you knew. Be careful, my love.
Ok, bon, on savait que Patriate, il n'était pas forcément très clean, dans le sens où on a recruté El Julio. Donc on savait déjà plus ou moins qu'il est dans des affaires douteuses. D'ailleurs, c'est peut-être pour ça que j'ai une nouvelle intrigue. Non, même pas. Bah écoutez, on va faire les intrigues secondaires. Serenor tente de rassurer Roland qui s'inquiète à propos de ses devoirs en tant que membre de la famille royale.
Roland, what are you doing out here?
There's hardly a better place to become lost in one's thoughts. Don't you agree?
I suppose. However, if aught weighs on your mind, it may serve you better to turn to a friend.
Then let me ask, do you believe me too immature for my station?
Not at all. Quite the opposite, in fact.
But the other nobles loved to gossip of my disinterest in politics and intrigue, and mocked my love of hawking.
You said it yourself. Gossip and sniping, nothing more. Pay no mind to nobles and their petty judgments. The people who matter, your subjects, hold you dearly in their hearts. Stories abound of their love for you.
Hey, go peddle your junk somewhere else.
And why would I do that, my good sir? I see no reason to forego such a bustling avenue simply to please a stranger.
A stranger? You're posted in front of my damn shop. You're stealing my customers from right under my nose.
Oh, I am? I'm not sure your lack of customers could be blamed on me. Surely the proprietor bears some responsibility for...
What bickering is this?
None of your business, whelp. Now leave us to our negotiations.
Prince Roland, is that really you?
A prince, you say? Well,
A distinguished gentleman such as yourself must be mortified to have your customers bear witness to this childish bickering.
I'm sorry, Your Highness. My temper got the best of me.
And you, merchant. If you mean to trade in Glenbrook, I trust you have procured the proper licenses and approvals.
well, the process takes some days, you see. Pardon, Your Highness.
Then your business shall have to wait some days, it seems. Shall I summon a member of the Kingsguard to explain the law in detail?
No, there'll be no need of that, Highness. I'll just be on my way.
Thank you, Prince Roland. Come visit any time, and I'll let you have your pick of my wares.
Your place has always been with your people. You could walk down the main avenue and settle disputes with a single word.
Don't tell me you were watching. They were petty arguments, nothing more.
As petty as they might have been, you were happy to do it. What better proof of royalty is there than that?
But it wasn't because I was wise that I solved their problems. It was my name and status that let my words wait. How do you imagine a kingdom with not a single dissatisfied soul would look?
That's a difficult thing to imagine.
Indeed. I suppose the best one can hope for is to do what we can. While we can.
Well, we can start envisioning such a nation. that one day we might build it together.
I like the sound of that. No doubt the answers we seek lie ahead, so long as we stay honest with ourselves. And so long as we work together, you and I, Serenor.
Très bien. Très bien, très bien. On va faire la deuxième intrigue. Évidemment, les convictions augmentent, mais on sait toujours pas ce que c'est. Et donc, on a une deuxième intrigue avec Narve. Narve a pu soigner les blessures d'un enfant grâce aux enseignements de son grand-père. Ram.
Damn it all. At this rate, I'll never come close to carrying on Grandfather's legacy. Maybe I was never destined to be a great mage after all.
Ow! It hurts!
Oh no, the poor child's fallen. Hey there, are you hurt?
Ow! It hurts so bad I can't even stand!
Not to worry. I'll fix you right up, so dry those tears.
Really?
Yup. The pain will disappear like magic. You'll see.
Wow! It doesn't hurt anymore. Thank you, sir. Grandma, look! My leg's all better now!
Well, I'll be. Thank you so much for healing my grandson.
You don't need to thank me. This is nothing.
Those robes. You wouldn't happen to be a student of the Archmage Grandante, would you?
You know my grandfather?
Oh, of course I do. What a great man he was, always using his magic to help those in need, much like you. I was just one of many whose lives he saved. Why, that was over 30 years ago. I lost my house to the fires of war and nearly my life along with it. But he quenched the flames with his spellcraft and healed my burns. Had it not been for the Archmage Grandante, I would not be here today. I am forever in his debt.
Even though Grandfather's name was erased from Hyzant's records, his memory lives on in the people he helped.
It sounds like he was a truly amazing man indeed. And I know he would be proud of you for following in his footsteps.
Do you really think so?
I do. And I have no doubt that one day you will restore the glory to your grandfather's name. No matter what the Ministry does to erase his existence, his spirit lives on through you.
Right. But I must keep practicing, that I might help even more people with my spells. Just watch me, Grandfather. I'll restore the honor of your name if it's the last thing I do.
Ah, c'est mignon, c'est mignon. Ok. Retour à l'histoire principale. Alors, nous avons deux trucs. On va d'abord regarder au faubourg. Tout en inspectant la capitale, Frederica écoute la voix de son peuple.
There are more who accepted Esfrost's rule than I imagined.
Glenbrook's history is long. Yet, that is why hierarchy and precedent hold sway. This is a stubborn land, my lady, not given to easy change. Though Archduke Gustadolf, acting in the name of freedom, granted privilege after privilege to the powerful, For people used to Glenbrook's rigid customs, I suppose that sort of change must have been too seductive to resist.
Perhaps, but his freedom was not but greed and cruelty.
Lady Frederica, I've been searching everywhere for you.
A Wolffort messenger! Did you run all this way? What's happened?
My lady, I hail from Castle Wolffort, bearing tidings of Lord Simo.
Has he awakened?
He has. He is in high spirits and recovering well. He is most pleased to hear of the capital's recapture. He bids you visit Castle Wolffort so he can honor you himself.
Oh, I must bring these glad tidings to Serenor at once. How long it has been since I've seen him smile.
There is one more bit of news I have for you, my lady, but it is not so happy.
Is there some sort of trouble in the Wolffort domain?
Bandits are laying waste to the Rozellien village. To our shame, Castle Wolffort does not have enough soldiers to stop this. We would beg Lord Serenor's wisdom in this matter.
The enemy must be powerful indeed. We cannot leave the Rozellien village defenseless.
Let us inform the others. Messenger, with us.
Well, well. Things are about to get interesting.
Ah Belle, putain. Roland veut débuter la reconstruction de la capitale royale. Les patriotes et les autres royalistes ne l'entendent pas de cette oreille. On sait qu'il est corrompu, on sait.
A coronation ceremony. Certainly there are more important matters to focus on right now.
A coronation is important to assuage the people's fears and restore their faith, besides which it is the royalists' most fervent wish. A kingdom is only truly as strong as people believe it to be, and right now the world believes Glenbrook weak. The ceremony will be a display to the contrary.
Is this truly the remedy our situation calls for? Right now I imagine the people care only for where their next hot meal will come from.
Rest assured, sire, House Wolffort will see your subjects shan't go hungry. But trust me when I say nothing will hasten Glenbrook's return to her former glory so much as announcing the return of Regna's rightful heir. To win your subjects' hearts, you need do nothing but ascend to your position upon the throne.
You mean sit my royal backside on a fancy chair?
In a manner of speaking. A king's duty is first and foremost serving as his kingdom's symbol. You needn't trouble yourself with day-to-day governance. We will assume that burden. After all, you have only just been crowned.
There will be no ceremony. The people will tell us what they need, and you will listen to them, Patriot. That is my command.
As you wish, King Roland.
On sait qu'il est corrompu, bordel.
How fare things, Suette? Have the relief supplies been given to those who need it?
Well, we had received a sizable shipment of goods from Hyzant, but there are complaints. It seems very few of those goods have made it into the hands of the people.
And why is that?
We aren't certain, though apparently Patriot and the Royalists involve themselves with the distribution.
Damn those Royalists! They cannot be left to their own devices.
Ok, alors, il y a du nouveau en annexe du côté du palais de l'oracle.
House Wolffort and Minister Exham's forces have reclaimed the Crown City. And not only that, they have dealt a heavy blow to the Esfrosti forces, in killing Thalys and other commanding officers.
We couldn't have hoped for a better outcome.
Oh, to see Gustadolf's face when he hears the news. Now he'll have no choice but to come crawling to us on hands and knees, begging for salt. Though, this could be our chance to crush the duchy once and for all.
Just because they're licking their wounds does not make them easy prey. They still have their iron, after all.
Ha! Iron. We can get iron. All we need do is make Glenbrook hand over the Grand Norzelian mines to us. A paltry price to pay for our bountiful aid in their restoration of the Crown City.
The Grand Norzelian mines. The spark that lit the flame of Esfrost's aggression. But why go through the trouble to seize an iron source when they have all the iron they could ever need? I should have Milo look into the matter.
Minister Edor?
Well, regardless, we control the salt. I say we bide our time until Esfrost admits they are defeated. Besides, Glenbrook seeks our aid in their reconstruction efforts, do they not?
Yes. King Roland and Minister Serenor have both asked for help, and sent reports detailing the extent of the damage to the Crown City.
Send forth a veritable bounty. To Minister Serenor of the Saintly Seven, that is.
Ah, yes. A show of the goddess's grace to the people, and as a wedge to drive between him and the king.
Esfrost, Glenbrook, they will both be ours before long.
C'est marrant que personne n'ait compris. Genre, en fait, depuis le 4e chapitre, personne n'a retourné dans la mine. Je vais faire une sauvegarde ici. Ouais, on est pas mal côté thunes. Bon, on sait que ça part vite, mais. Yes. Ok, bon bah, go voter. Hein. Le groupe s'est séparé en 3 factions avec différentes destinations. Quelle voie prendra Serenor?
Thank you all for helping to determine the extent of the damage to the capital. This information will be invaluable as we proceed with reconstruction. There is also happy word from Castle Wolffort. My Lord Father is awake. They say he is recovering apace and is already up and walking.
Those are glad tidings indeed.
He says he would like to see us and hear of all that has passed while he was taken ill.
Then what are we waiting for? I'll saddle the horses.
Would that we could depart at once, but the messenger brought another piece of news.
Bandits plague the outskirts of the Rozellien village.
Jerome and his folk are there. They can handle a few mangy thieves, surely.
Not according to the messenger. The bandits are proving a formidable foe.
Which is why they have asked us for aid.
Apologies for my tardiness. It's sudden, I know, but I must ask you a favor.
What is it?
I suspect Patriot and his royalists of filching relief supplies.
We've no proof it's them, but the fact remains. The people in most need of those goods are not receiving them.
The matter warrants investigating at the very least, and I would ask for Wolffort's assistance.
I see. Well, we were just discussing what we ought to do next. Allow me to explain the 3 courses of action before us. 1. Return to Castle Wolffort as my Lord Father requests. 2. Defend the Rozellien village from bandits. Or 3. Remain in the capital to investigate the royalists.
Lord Simon has recovered. What splendid news. If I could only go to him myself and thank him for all House Wolffort has done. But I cannot leave the capital in the throes of a possible scandal. Too many hold the royal family in contempt as it is.
That may be the case, but now that Lord Simon has awoken, someone must make sure he is healthy and apprise him of recent events. I would go to Castle Wolffort, Lord Serenor, if it pleases you.
My heart breaks for the Rozellien village. Let me go to its defense, even if I must go alone.
I cannot allow that. It's far too dangerous a task for one person.
Well, I would have the Wolffort soldiers with me, of course. Besides, do you recall our first meeting?
Of course I do. You were being assailed by rogues at the port.
If you hadn't been there, who knows what would have become of me. But I am not as weak now as I was then. I am stronger, enough that I shall bring no dishonor to House Wolffort's name. My lord, have faith in me. Let me do this.
Very well.
It seems best that Benedict, Frederica, and I each attend to these pressing matters, separately.
Indeed, but the rest of us cannot be in 3 places at once. We can only choose one path to take. Bring the scales of conviction.
Attends, quoi? J'ai pas... Pardon? Je ne sais pas pourquoi, mais je me sens nerveux. Nous avons réussi à reprendre la capitale Glenbrookains et la reconstruction a commencé. Alors, pour toute action, il ne devrait pas y avoir de problème majeur, bien sûr. Et pourtant, je ne peux pas m'empêcher d'être inquiet. Oula. Je peux sortir? Dans les jardins. Bon bah vas-y. Par contre, si on peut pas tout faire, c'est moche quoi. J'étais censé rentrer à Isante, mais vous avez piqué mon intérêt, Sir Serenor. Membre des Sept Saints, libérateur de Glenbrook, bras droit de la couronne. Les habitants de Wolffort doivent sûrement vous réserver un accueil triomphal. Si vous retournez sur vos terres, j'espère que vous me laisserez vous accompagner. Mon petit doigt me dit que si je rentrais au domaine de Wolffort, Milo s'arrangerait pour me suivre. Nos réserves de sel commencent à diminuer. Nous devons rétablir nos traités commerciaux avec Isante dans les plus brefs délais. En tant que membre des Sept Saints, ne pourriez-vous intercéder en notre faveur? N'ayez crainte, la firme norzélienne et ses commerçants affiliés sont déjà sur le coup, laissez-leur un peu de temps. Négocier dans l'urgence nous mettrait en position de faiblesse, attendons plutôt une occasion opportune. Rien ne peut se faire sans l'accord du roi, d'ici là. La maison Wolffort partagerait une partie de ses stocks. Naturellement, et je vous remercie au nom du peuple pour votre générosité. Vous pouviez éviter de mentionner devant le roi que je vous ai interpellé directement au sujet de ces problèmes. Vous n'avez nulle raison de vous inquiéter, je sais que vous ne pensiez qu'au bien du royaume, et sa majesté Roland n'est pas le genre d'homme à s'offusquer pour si peu. Entendu, merci beaucoup, messieurs. Voilà un peu rassuré, j'ai bien fait d'en parler avec vous, Sir Wolffort. Ok. Continue le pillage du jardin, bien entendu. Je n'arrive toujours pas à croire que le roi Roland était sain et sauf depuis tout ce temps. Vous n'imaginez pas mon émotion lorsqu'il est revenu, épaulé par la maison Wolffort, pour récupérer son royaume. Je renouvelle ici et maintenant mon serment de servir la couronne de Glenbrook jusqu'à mon dernier soupir. Pierre. Nous étions forcés de serrer les dents et de prendre notre mal en patience pendant l'occupation isfrostoise. Mais en entendant le récit exaltant des Wolffort revenus libérer la capitale, nous avons retrouvé courage et fierté. Ah, Wolffort président, hein. Nous avons quelques informations sur la bande de voleurs qui fait parler d'elle aux abords du village Rozellien. Il semblerait qu'elle soit dirigée par un père et sa fille. Ils se font appeler le clan... Attendez, j'ai vu leur nom sur le... J'ai le nom sur leur... Un père et sa fille à la tête d'une bande de voleurs. Ça ne peut être que le clan Travis. Mais que manigance-t-il cette fois? Alors, je pense que le clan Travis... On sait qu'ils ont récupéré un objet à Icefrost. C'est bien eux, du moins. Mais normalement, oui. Et visiblement, ils ont dû réussir à ouvrir le bouquin, peut-être. Ou justement, ils cherchent des Rozellien pour l'ouvrir, je sais pas. Mes respects, Sir Serenor, votre renommée vous devance. Non content d'être entré parmi les 7 saints de Isande, vous avez aussi démontré votre valeur sur le champ de bataille en tant que vassal de la couronne de Glenbrook. Par quel titre les royalistes devraient-ils s'adresser à vous désormais? C'est vrai, les gens ont plutôt une bonne opinion de moi. À défaut du prince. Il n'y a rien derrière la fontaine. Non. Plus compliqué à voir les petits trucs brillants sur cette map. Là, il y en a un. Un bois exceptionnel. C'est pas un bois de qualité, c'est un bois exceptionnel. Ah, bah le petit chat, il est plus là. On a fait une mauve. Non, il n'y a rien d'autre. Ok, on peut redescendre. Non, non. Plus là, une petite lag. Galère un petit peu. On regarde dans les buissons, il n'y a rien. On va parler à la dame. Les royalistes se sont donnés pour mission de remettre le royaume sur pied, avec Monsieur Patriote à la tête de notre mouvement. Il ne suffira pas de rendre à la capitale sa gloire d'antan, mais aussi d'inverser tous les changements apportés par Ysfrost. Les obstacles seront nombreux, mais nous sommes déterminés à en venir à bout. Laissez donc le pays entre nos mains. Est-ce vrai que les royalistes ont léché les bas de Gustave pour se protéger quand ils y étaient au pouvoir? Vous croyez vraiment à une condition dévoiler tout? Oh. Oh, j'ai envie de répondre la 2 là, vas-y. Est-ce vrai que les royalistes ont léché les bottes de Gustave pour se protéger quand ils... Bon, on le sait ça. Non, je vais répondre la 3. Vous croyez à une condition dévoiler tout ce que vous avez appris sur Ysfrost pendant l'occupation? Ce serait avec joie, mais l'intendant ne partageait avec nous que les informations strictement nécessaires à la gouvernance du royaume. Je serais bien incapable de vous révéler quoi que ce soit de plus. Je m'en doutais un peu. Jamais Gustave n'aurait laissé des personnes indignes de confiance accéder à ses secrets d'État. Attendez, un détail me revient. D'après Monsieur Patriote, Dame Erika exigeait qu'on apporte tous les jours une nouvelle bouteille de vin et une corbeille de fruits frais dans ses appartements. Ce n'est pas tout à fait le genre de renseignement que j'espérais, mais merci quand même. Et on a fait le tour déjà du jardin. Bon, bah c'était rapide, hein. Pas grand chose à récupérer malheureusement. Allez, on retourne à l'intérieur. Je vous avoue, pour l'instant, je sais pas trop. On va d'abord piller la... En plus, on n'a jamais eu trop l'occasion de venir jusque-là, jusqu'à présent. Est-ce qu'il y a des trucs à récupérer? Fibre de qualité, très bien. Waouh, mais c'est vachement grand en fait. Enfin, par rapport à d'habitude. Très grande dragée vivifiante. Non, 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 non. Rien d'autre, on peut pas aller en dessous. Non. 1500, très bien, parfait. Alors, rappel. Retourner au domaine Wolffort annoncer à Simon la libération de Glenbrook. Bah non, du coup... Non. En vrai, Benedict peut y aller tout seul, tout à fait. Ensuite, rester à la capitale et enquêter sur les manigances des royalistes. Roland et Huguette, ouais. Rendre au village Rozellien et enquêter sur les rumeurs de bandits. Alors, je pense que, du coup, les indécis, je peux leur dire où aller. Avec la reprise de la capitale royale, la guerre contre Ysfrost a franchi une étape. Il y a des restes d'incendie un peu partout. Quelle devrait être notre priorité sur Serenor? On peut facilement la convaincre d'aller au... Ouais. Nous rendre au village Rozellien inquiété sur les rumeurs de bandits. Quelles sont vos raisons pour pouvoir partir avec Madame Frédéric? Le village Rozellien se trouve sur notre territoire. En tant que seigneur, je ne peux pas laisser agir ceux qui ravagent mes terres à leur guise. Oui, je pense que c'est une façon de penser naturelle pour le chef des Wolffort. Cependant, nos adversaires ne sont pas des soldats d'un pays ennemi, mais une bande de voleurs. La question de savoir si nous devons vraiment les prioriser. Même s'il est vrai que les laisser faire pourrait porter atteinte à notre réputation. Quoi? Sérieux? Bon, Erador, il a envie de retourner, je pense. C'est-à-dire qu'on vient juste de reprendre la capitale et qu'on n'a même pas le temps de fêter notre victoire autour d'une bonne pinte. Jeune maître, éclairez-moi. Où doit-on aller? Nous devons nous rendre au village Rozellien et enquêter sur les rumeurs de bandits. Accompagner Dame Frédérica au village Rozellien. Pourquoi pensez-vous que c'est la bonne chose à faire exactement? Pourquoi ces bandits se donneraient-ils la peine de prendre pour cible un village isolé? Ils cherchent quelque chose et je veux savoir quoi. C'est vrai que c'est bizarre, j'ai du mal à croire que quoi que ce soit de valeur y soit caché. Pourtant, vous croyez qu'ils ont entendu parler de la clé? Celle qui pourrait libérer les Rozelliens? Ça se trouve, ils la cherchent pour la revendre. Dans tous les cas, je suis inquiet pour Jérôme et les autres. Dépêchons-nous d'aller les rejoindre. Peut-être que rester à la capitale est une bonne chose à faire, après tout. Bon, je pars dans l'idée que ça va pas bouger. À choisir entre les trois, je préférais quand même aller au village. Parce que, on sait qu'il y a un groupe de bandits, c'est sûrement eux, qui ont récupéré le bouquin, un livre qui appartenait à la mère de Frédérica. Et visiblement, oui, c'est pas impossible qu'il y ait quelque chose en plus dans le village. En vrai. C'est pas impossible. Alors, allez, on va procéder au vote.
It is time to cast our votes. We have 3 options before us. Return to the Wolffort domain, depart to the Rozellien village, or stay in the... Approach the scales of conviction with your token...
Bah là, en fait, c'est compliqué parce qu'on doit choisir une priorité, mais pour moi, on sépare le groupe en 3 et puis on fait le truc. Mais non, tu peux pas. On aurait pu faire les 3 chapitres séparément, quoi.
My apologies.
Ok. Oh, on va y avoir une égalité. Ah, je sais pas ce qui se passe en cas d'égalité, tiens.
Just can't see it your way.
Oh, t'es sérieux?
The scales of conviction will illuminate the...
Est-ce que c'est la première fois qu'on va perdre un vote? Ah! Ah! Quoi? Quoi? Mais pourquoi? Mais sérieusement? Attendez, je vais juste faire un truc aussi au niveau du son. Voilà. Quoi? Je suis choqué. Pourquoi? Bon.
The way forward is decided. We return to the Wolffort domain with Benedict and inform Father that we have reclaimed the capital.
Ok, très bien.
I must return to the Wolffort domain, to my father's side.
Lord Simon will be most pleased to see you, I am certain.
Of course. Fulfill your duty to your father. I shall see to things in the capital.
And I shall attend to the Rozellien village. Please give Lord Simo my best.
Oh, Lord Serenor, you are returning
Ah,
home.
ouais! C'était sûr!
What perfect timing. I was thinking of heading to the Wolffort domain myself.
Dégage! Dégage!
Might I accompany you?
Non.
Milo, how'd you sneak into the castle?
Oh,
Let's just say I have my ways. You might find the companionship of such a capable woman a boon on the road.
Oh.
I know not what her aims are, my lord, but I do know she will be easier to watch by your side.
Indeed. All right, Milo, you may come. But you'll be put to work for the household. Understood?
Of course, my lord.
Then this is farewell for now. King Roland, Frederica, until our reunion in the capital.
Roland et Frederica, quittez votre groupe. Ah ouais. Ah, ça va être une autre façon d'aborder les combats du coup. Alors qu'on finit le premier acte, les bannières du roi s'avancent. Très bien. Bon, épisode Cosette, hein. Premier acte, beaucoup de Cosette évidemment. Et ouais. Et ouais, et ouais. Bon. Bah écoutez, on continue.
With the capital once more under their control, the members of House Wolffort disperse to the various corners of the domain. Roland, for his part, works to rid the Crown City of his political enemies. Frederica repairs to the Rozellien village. Serenor, Benedict, and the others, meanwhile, make a triumphant return to Castle Wolffort, where Lord Simon eagerly awaits their arrival.
Chapitre 15, acte 2. Quand je devrais tout quitter. Ah.
Hark! The young rulers have returned.
You're back! You're back! You made it!
Show some respect, lad. They've driven Esfrost from our lands and brought the kingdom back from the brink. And one of them is no less than one of High Zant's saintly seven.
J'avoue que sur le CV, c'est pas mal.
Greater than Lord Simon ending the Salt Iron War. Fills me with pride enough to think I'd done it myself.
I'm sorry, Mr. Lord. King? I didn't mean it.
You've done nothing wrong. Address me as you please. I thank you one and all for your efforts in seeing us through to victory.
Well, you are too gracious, my lord.
As is the Hierophant, who saw fit to bless us with a boatload of salt. And all thanks to you, Lord Serenor.
The Hierophant, you say?
Wow! That's amazing!
Isn't it just? Bold is the nation that besmirches House Wolffort's honor now.
I reckon not even the king himself would speak ill of us now.
Course not. It was this lad what made that mask-wearing coward of a prince the king.
All hail House Wolffort.
All hail Mr. Lord.
Serenor is truly a man of the people.
And he's got the might to defend him. He's earned their trust.
And so he may as well be king. I must say I do appreciate a powerful man. Perhaps I should cast my lot in with the future rather than the past.
The cowardly prince they refer to is King Roland, no doubt.
Familiarity breeds contempt.
I pray that's all it is. High Zant's overtures are most bold. They mean to lure us in.
Ouais, c'est pas très cool pour Roland, hein. Je suis d'accord. Hein. Pas très cool. Bon, on a des nouvelles quêtes annexes. Alors, histoire annexe plutôt. Les sept saints, tout en louant la victoire des Wolffort, se méfient toujours de la maison de Serenor. Ils ont bien raison. Ils ont bien raison, les bougres.
Once proud Esfrost has been laid low, and Prince Roland installed as King of Glenbrook. Perhaps now they understand how powerful we are.
There is yet more good news. We have coaxed enough power from the Elfric to power the automaton.
Oh, have the spoils of war ever been so great?
A question House Wolffort no doubt asks themselves. Are you not troubled by their gains? The people of Glenbrook rally around their newly returned hero as we speak. I fear we have unwittingly created an enemy to rival Esfrost, or worse.
Which is precisely why I have sent Milo to watch their every move. We shall be informed of any plots against us in due course.
And you are content to trust this, Milo?
What does it matter if I trust her? The goddess shall render final judgment to any and all traitors.
Be they spies, or one of the Saintly Seven.
Indeed. May we never live to witness such a tragedy.
Tu supposes que potentiellement Milo, en fait, on peut en faire une véritable alliée? Alors, du côté de Svarog, ça se passe comment? Svarog vient de prendre connaissance de sa convocation par Gustadolf. Porte des Deux Sentinelles. Pas très bon pour lui.
Lord Svarog, you've been summoned to the capital with regard to the death snow. How long do you intend to defy the Archduke's orders?
I've no time for his trifling inquiries, now that Glenbrook has been wrested from our hold. I fear an assault on the duchy is imminent. We must fortify Twins Gate.
Such an order would be mine to give, not yours.
Be gone! I was a fool to think you could protect the duchy's lands.
The Archduke shall render his judgment.
Damn his judgment, and everything it has wrought! Leaving that fool Thalys in charge of Glenbrook brought this upon us.
I shall pass your words on to him, then.
See that you do, messenger boy. And let him know that if he wishes for me to follow his orders, he will speak the truth, and nothing but.
La tension, la tension. Ok, bah écoutez, on va continuer l'histoire, mais du coup je pense que en fait ce chapitre-là et les chapitres prochains seront dédiés à Frédérica et Roland. On va avoir un peu un chapitre de chaque. C'est une supposition. Ou en fait, peu importe quel choix, c'est peut-être... Ouais, c'est... On va quand même faire les trois, ça se trouve, mais dans un ordre différent, et en fonction de dans quel ordre on l'aura fait, il va se passer tel ou tel truc. Ok, bon. Serenor a fait un retour triomphal dans son domaine, et se dirige dès son arrivée au château vers la chambre de son père.
How fares my father?
He is most lucid, my lord, though asleep at the moment. I fear the malady has sapped much of his strength.
I see.
It's not all doom and gloom, though. Word of your recent exploits lifted his spirits considerably. He cannot wait to hold a feast and praise you before the entire house.
Ha! May he forget he said that upon waking.
You should accept the honor with grace, my lord. He is your father, after all.
I would gladly accept, of course. Even hearing secondhand that he takes pride in my efforts threatens to swell my head.
Tant qu'on l'a pas vu, je suis pas convaincu. Hein. Regardez, même Bénédicte, il se pose des questions. On l'a pas vu encore. On l'a pas vu.
The young lord has reclaimed Glenbrook, Lady Destra. He fought as valiantly as Simone or Regna. Would you were here to witness it.
Forgive me, Benedict.
No, forgive me, Lord Serenor. I shall take my leave.
Nonsense. You are the reason I stand here today, and I would tell Mother that myself. I bid you stay.
How very gracious of you. I owe much to Lord Simone and Lady Destra. They filled my life with purpose. They left you in my charge. But you have already demonstrated your power for all the realm to see. You now walk on your own 2 feet. I have no doubt you can lead Norzélia into a glorious new era of peace and prosperity, with King Roland by your side.
Speak frankly, Benedict. What is it you wish to say?
I have done all I can for you, Lord Serenor. I will resign following the evening's festivities. Anna shall take my place if it pleases you.
You would leave me unmoored at a time like this?
I know the time is not ideal, but your father is not long for this world. I would repay my debt to him by caring for him in his final days. After that, I shall stand watch over their eternal resting place and regale them with tales of your great deeds.
I see there shall be no swaying you. My gratitude for you flows like the mighty Norzélia River. Even so, I would ask for a moment more to make up my mind.
Understood, my lord. Then let us return to the castle and prepare for the evening's feast.
Ok, alors est-ce qu'il y a des nouvelles choses annexes qui sont apparues? Non. On part sur de l'investigation. Alors, la fête célébrant le triomphe des Wolffort a commencé, lorsque Serenor est approché par quelqu'un. Who's there?
This is quite the gathering.
Each and every one of them eager to get to know you better to advance their own ends. Be on your guard.
I shouldn't think that would be necessary. Father has gathered those he trusts most to lend me their aid. For that, I am grateful. Whatever the case, we mustn't keep them waiting.
I thank you kindly for the invitation, Lord Serenor. Or shall I address you as Glenbrook's savior?
Ha! You needn't go that far. No.
I disagree. Your accomplishments speak for themselves. Power becomes you. It makes you alluring to people such as myself.
Oh, tu te calmes.
Pray, let me accompany you for the evening and beyond.
I shall need a moment to consider your most gracious offer.
It's a thing of beauty when they grow up. Hey, Benedict?
It is. And yet, it can leave one feeling strangely bereft.
Aye. Well, that's fatherhood for you.
Wait. C'est moi où il y avait Patriote là-haut. Je devrais aller saluer tout le monde en tant que chef de la maison. Ouais, mais non. Enfin, oui, je suis d'accord, mais... Attendez, il se passe des choses. Je suis surprise de voir à quel point le peuple soutient la maison Wolffort. J'espère bien un jour vous voir atteindre une position encore plus influente. Non mais laisse tomber, je suis déjà pris. Ah, Sir Serenor, quel honneur de rencontrer notre héros, le libérateur du royaume. Les rumeurs de vos exploits me sont parvenues également. Vos vassaux méritent bien leur repos ce soir. Il y a un piège. Serenor est devenu complètement parano. Même si le Sir Patriote est là, quel toupet il a de se montrer ici en public. Le roi Roland exposera bien vite les crimes de l'aristocratie royaliste, je lui fais confiance. Effectivement, qu'est-ce qu'il fout là? À vrai dire, l'idée de faire affaire avec la capitale m'inquiète quelque peu. Et surtout les nobles qui se tirent dans les pattes pour leurs propres intérêts. Je ferais peut-être mieux de réserver mon commerce à la cité de Wolffort, plutôt que la capitale, cela serait plus sûr. Allez vous tenir aux côtés de Sir Simon quand il arrivera. Cela lui fera plaisir. Nous sommes tous soulagés d'apprendre que le Sir Simon est revenu à lui-même. Mais nous ne devrions pas trop nous réjouir pour autant. Même si pour l'instant la nation entière chante vos louanges, certains ne voient pas cela d'un bon œil. Nous avons réussi à reprendre la capitale. D'après vous, que devrions-nous faire à présent? Il n'y aura donc sans doute pas de sitôt, nous devrions laisser le peuple et se reposer un peu. Protéger le domaine Wolffort est ma priorité, la guerre n'est pas encore finie. Nous devrions tout d'abord penser à rétablir les finances et le commerce. Cela a bien dû souffrir sous le règne du duché. Protéger le domaine de Wolffort est notre priorité. Allez, bim! Le Sir Simon serait ravi de vous entendre de dire cela, une décision très sage. Et toi, Bénédicte, que vois-tu dans notre avenir? La reconstruction de la cité? La guerre? Je pense que le désordre et la confusion vont continuer à régner parmi le peuple. Nous ne pouvons rien y faire. Quant au combat, ils sont loin d'être terminés. Quelqu'un finira par attaquer à un moment ou un autre. Nous devrions rester vigilants et continuer à nous préparer. Je suis véritablement honoré de pouvoir combattre aux côtés d'un homme aussi respecté de tous. Sa maison Wolffort est là pour nous protéger, nous sommes en sécurité, c'est sûr. Je ne pensais pas que nous arriverions à reprendre le château de Glenbrook, et tout cela grâce à l'aide précieuse des Wolffort. Que serait-il advenu de la capitale si le roi Roland avait été seul à se battre? Oh, il serait sûrement mort dès le chapitre 5. Notre victoire lors de la reprise de Glenbrook est en passe de devenir légende. Je n'en entendais pas moins du seigneur Wolffort, membre des Sept Saints. En espérant que votre succès ne s'arrête pas là, et surtout servez bien la déesse du sel. Oh oui, le sel. Trajet miraculeuse. 2900! Oh là là, je pille mon propre royaume, incroyable. Attends, mais il y a un truc brillant sur ta table. Non, attendez, j'ai vu un truc brillant sur sa table. Non? J'y arrivais. Ok. Bah écoutez, on va monter. Gila, tu t'éloignes un peu, pourquoi? Je ne pensais pas voir autant de monde. Il semblerait que les rumeurs du succès de la maison Wolffort aient bien voyagé. Ouais, pas beaucoup de monde, 10 personnes en temps de guerre, c'est pas mal. Hein. 1500, je récupère mon argent. Incroyable. La loyauté de la maison Wolffort est admirable. Avoir été invité à ce banquet est un véritable honneur. J'espère que vous continuerez à soutenir Glenbrook avec le sire patriote. Alors, pourquoi toi tu me parles pas? Le garde qui me parle pas, je me méfie. Position de pierre de glace de zone x2. Bien le bonjour, très cher sire Wolffort. Je vous félicite pour vos exploits sur le champ de bataille. Merci. Mais je dois cette victoire à mes vassaux et mes soldats qui ont combattu à mes côtés. Dans tous les cas, je suis flatté que l'hôte du banquier vienne s'entretenir personnellement avec moi. Que me vaut cet honneur? J'ai entendu dire que vous avez bien prospéré sous le règne d'Isfrost. Où se trouve donc votre loyauté à présent? Comment se passent les efforts de construction de la capitale? N'hésitez pas à faire appel à moi en cas de besoin. Profitons juste des festivités ce soir, nous pourrons aborder les sujets sérieux plus tard. Oh vas-y, je vais je vais mettre un petit coup de pression. Vas-y. Vos mots me blessent. Je n'ai fait que mon devoir de royaliste en soutenant Dame Cordelia. Mais maintenant que vous faites partie des 700 de Isante, quels sont vos sentiments envers la famille royale? La maison Wolffort fait partie des 3 grandes maisons de Glenbrook. C'est la seule qui est encore debout en fait. Quel que soit mon statut, saint ou pas, je reste loyal à la couronne. Me voilà rassuré. Continuez à soutenir le roi Roland ensemble. J'ai pas confiance. On a Julio avec nous, on sait que tu manigances quelque chose, on sait que t'es corrompu. T'inquiète pas que je mettrai Julio à ta place. Le sire Simon a dit qu'il serait présent au banquet. Il devrait bientôt arriver. J'ai l'impression que les châteaux revivent pour la première fois depuis bien longtemps. J'étais tellement détendu, j'en ai presque oublié que je devais aller relever un autre garde. C'est pas Crya. Bon, bah écoutez, on a vu tout le monde. Fin de l'investigation. Maintenant, je n'ai plus qu'à attendre mon père. S'il décide de descendre vraiment.
Lord Simon lives.
Haven't seen him in ages. He looks well. Thank the stars.
Let me take your hand.
I can manage on my own, my boy. I've not felt this good in some time. But I shall want you by my side the rest of the evening, that I may hear of your exploits in full.
Nothing would make me happier, Father.
I thank you all for gathering to celebrate with me House Wolffort's victories. Against all odds, my son and his stalwart allies have reclaimed the Kingdom of Glenbrook. I felt a great weight lifted from my shoulders as I watched him grow into a worthy heir. I dare say I've never been so proud. Permit me the indulgence of offering a toast to my son, my pride and...
Anna!
Huh?
Father!
Assassins.
Ça va chier! Simon est attaqué par un assassin et le chaos règne dans la salle du banquet. Serenor et Milo doivent le protéger. J'aime bien comment il précise Milo. Hein. Bah écoutez, petite sauvegarde. C'est la merde. Écoutez, je vais peut-être fermer un petit peu, je vais aller voir ce que j'ai débloqué et après je continue dans la lancée. A tout de suite. Ok, donc là ça va être session intrigue de personnage.
Ain't no one can pour a pint like you.
I take coin for drink, not compliments. It's hard enough to keep this place running on my own as it is.
Need me to lend a hand?
Thought you'd never ask. You can start by washing the dishes, then restocking our foodstuffs, fixing up that wobbly table, and...
Aye, leave it to me.
Ha! I'm only playing. I'd never put a paying customer to labor.
But that's an awful lot of work for any one person. Ever give thought to finding someone with whom you might share the burden?
You can stop right there. The last thing I need is anyone else complicating my life.
Sounds like you're speaking from experience.
I had myself a someone once, you know? Special-like. Till he left me for a specialer someone. Raised my son Theo all by myself after that. He'd be a man grown now, if the war hadn't taken him.
Forgive me, Hossabara. Didn't mean to go drudging up painful memories.
No need for apologies. I don't know anyone who doesn't have a thing or two in their past that haunts them. In truth, I'm more exhausted than anything. Must be the years taking their toll.
Ain't got nothing to do with age, and everything to do with the hardships you've overcome. More impressive than an old soldier drowning his sorrows in mead.
What kind of barkeep am I, letting my poor patron wallow?
Sometimes wallowing's good for the soul. Come on, have a round with me. My treat.
Took you long enough to make the offer. Now, what shall we toast to?
How about to your son?
I, to Theo.
Alors qu'on a une musique stressante en fond, je continue les intrigues. Hein. Vous savez quoi, on va mettre Julio. Julio doit rapporter à Serenor sa décision de punir l'aristocrate pour ses actions. Ah bah, c'est plus ou moins le lien avec ce qui se passe.
Lord Serenor, may I speak with you? About that noblewoman, yes? Erador's told me what happened.
Forgive me. I know that I should have waited for your orders before acting. But I could not leave that woman to her devices. The longer the war goes on, the more the people suffer. I imagine their feelings toward their rulers must be souring. In spite of this, that woman tried to use your name to wrest their food away. Had we let her go free, people would have thought she was acting on your orders, and their mistrust of you would have only grown. I believed we had to show them that soldiers stand for justice, and acted. I accept whatever punishment you deem fit.
There will be no punishment, for you have committed no wrong.
My lord.
Anna looked into her. It seems that woman's ill repute dates back to her days in Glenbrook. Likely, she thought to obfuscate her misdeeds in the Crown City by hiding within my troops. But she wasn't able to conceal her true self in the end. I suppose she thought to earn my favor with the stolen food. Unfortunately for her, she misjudged my principles.
Lord Serenor.
Forgive me for my oversight in this matter. I shall take all necessary precautions to ensure nothing like it happens again.
So, you aren't upset with me for throwing a noblewoman in jail?
Had I been in your position, I would have done the very same. For her misdeeds in Glenbrook and the crime you caught her committing, I shall order her banished at once. She will never again be welcome in the Wolffort domain. Let it serve as a deterrent to any others who would prey upon the common people. It is rare that I meet someone so committed to holding those of high birth accountable for their actions. I hope you will continue to do so. House Wolffort must be a house the people can trust.
Of course, my lord. You have my word. knew I made the right choice. Unlike Patriat, Lord Serenor is a man worth serving. Yes, I finally found where I am meant to be. I cannot rest on my laurels. Yes, I must serve my new lord as best I can.
Et désolé, il reste encore 3 intrigues, messieurs dames. Une avec Archibald, survivant de la Grande Guerre du sel et du fer, raconte son histoire à Anna.
Master Archibald, is there something on your mind?
Goddess be good. I must be getting on in years for you to be able to sneak up on me like that.
What troubles you?
I was only reminiscing. Indeed, days like these tend to blow my mind back a couple of decades or more.
Reminiscing about what?
The Salt Iron War. Hard to believe it's been 30 whole years. Some days I almost forget my time as one of the Saintly Seven. I defended the Citadel of Sand through the conflict. I was there when Esfrost attacked. A number of Rozellien prisoners who tried to escape the source were there too, including Our Lady Frederica's dear mother.
What's this?
She stayed behind all by herself to help the countless numbers of her fellow Rozelle flee. That's how she was captured. But I knew we couldn't hold the Citadel. So I helped her and her friends escape in secret before the enemy attacked. The wind blew just as hard that night as it's blowing now. I'll never forget watching the Rozelle, caked all over in mud as they slipped away into the dark.
So you didn't want innocents to get caught up in the coming battle?
It never settled right with me. The way the goddess's teachings permitted abuse of the Rozelle for the supposed sins of their past. A person's life isn't worth more or less just because of the conditions of their birth. But more than anything, I was moved by the selfless acts of Lady Frederica's mother. She reminded me of what I had once aspired to be. She was able to do what I never could. Risk her life to save her friends. I couldn't let someone like that die. Not on my watch. It wasn't long until the other Saintly Seven discovered what I'd done. They branded me a traitor, stripped me of my title, and sentenced me to death. Of course, I slipped out of their clutches before they could have my head. I wandered for a while before taking up life as a merchant under the King of Glenbrook's patronage.
I never knew you and Lady Frederica's mother shared such a past.
Well, it is in the past. Anyway, let us return. This cold night wind is making my old bones ache something fierce.
Intéressant. D'un côté, il faut que je les fasse aussi, hein. Ça permet d'augmenter les convictions de Serenor. Hein. Quelle est la raison pour laquelle ce soldat, autrefois redouté comme le bouclier sanglant, a laissé derrière lui son surnom? Ça, c'est Flanagan.
Thank you for joining me in my training, Sir Flanagan. I've learned much from you. In truth, I'm grateful for any training at all. There are few of us Hawk Riders in Glenbrook.
Then let me thank you in turn for a chance to shake the rust from my bones. Seems my mount was keen to face such a worthy opponent as well.
Twould seem they are hawks of a feather. Speaking of which, Sir Flanagan, I understand your regiment of riders was the Duchy's finest. Yet you chose to leave your homeland behind. Why?
I grew to see how powerless I was. I once believed the freedom Gustadolf espoused would bring prosperity to Esfrost. So I fought, and fought, and fought for the cause until my shield was stained blood red.
Hence your title, yes. To think how many lives you must have saved.
Do not mock me. I saved no one. Pride swelled my breast with every mention of that cursed title. But in a year's time, what did I return home to find? My poor wife, wasting away in solitude in the throes of an accursed plague.
Your wife? Had word not reached you?
She mentioned in letters that she felt unwell, but never did I expect it to be so grave. In a matter of days, she was gone. Every moment I spent protecting the people, she drew one step closer to death. And I left her to die. Her blood, too, stains my shield.
Sir Flanagan,
Forgive me. I did not mean to burden you with my woes. But you see now, my title is a curse.
It is a tragedy, yes. But I cannot bring myself to believe you cursed. And you mustn't believe so either.
Des surnoms quand il y a sanglant dedans, c'est jamais très bon. Bon, il me reste un truc avec Erador. Erador sait qu'il y a une histoire particulière derrière la fleur que Bénédicte cherche. Encore cette histoire de fleur?
Made it in time, my lord.
Erador, you came.
Lady Destra. Your mother was loved by one and all, my lord. Honoring her this day is the least we can do. Is it just you here, my lord?
We are beset on all sides by tasks large and small. I would not impose my familial obligations on the others.
Spoken like a true leader. Me and your mother may not have been family by blood, but duty bound us, just as close.
I am sure she would have been overjoyed to see you by my side. I never had a chance to know her. My only memories are from stories others told me. And still, I somehow can feel the warmth of her embrace, hear the loving sound of her voice.
She was smitten, that is true. She held on to you so tightly, I reckon not even the Dawn Spear could have pried you from her.
Did she?
Lady Destra's smile was brighter than the sun, and near as constant. She treated young Benedict and I like little brothers, though at times we weren't so deserving of her care. Even so, she always had a kind word, and worry enough to spare. There weren't a woman like her in all of Norzélia.
I did not know the bond between you three ran so deep. Benedict never mentioned it.
His lips aren't as loose as mine, especially when it comes to Lady Destra. Speaking of which, here. Your mother would have loved to get one of these from you.
A snowbell? My father mentioned her fondness for these flowers. Every year, when I visited her, without fail, one of these would be placed in front of her grave. Was that you all this time?
Well, not exactly, my lord.
They're quite rare, are they not? I often search for them, but I have yet to see one in bloom. Where did you find it?
Well, I made a journey down south. Benedict insisted. Apologies for my absence, my lord.
There is naught to apologize for. It was a thoughtful gesture, and I thank you for it. Somehow, I can feel Mother smiling down upon us.
More than I deserve, if I'm being honest.
Huh. There's already a snow bell. Who could have...
Should have known. Nothing will stop him from his duty.
What was that?
It was nothing, my lord. Seems we're not the only ones carrying a torch for Lady Destra.
Indeed. We are fortunate to be part of such a close-knit house. And that is thanks to those who serve it. I trust I'll see you here again in a year's time, Erador.
Of course, my lord. Snowbells might capture a moment in time, but your mother inspired loyalty for an eternity.
Ok. Bon, retour à ce qui se passe dans le château de Wolffort, évidemment. Une petite sauvegarde. On est quasiment à 30 heures de jeu. Et on est parti pour le combat dans le château de Wolffort.
Eyes on me, father. Steady yourself.
Let my guard down. But it takes more than that. To fell Simon Wolffort.
Then more you shall have. Not today.
Thank you, Milo.
Save your breath. We're not rid of the assassins.
Kill them, Milo.
Gladly.
Kill them all. We shan't have a chance like this again.
Oh l'enfoiré! Oh l'enfoiré!
Patriat! What are you...
Traitorous cur!
Milo fait maintenant partie de votre équipe. Ok. Intéressant. Alors, attaque un jeu les ennemis avec danse envoûtant, possède de nombreuses compétences qui infligent des dégâts néfastes. On l'avait testé avant l'attaque avant la reprise du château. C'est à peu près ce qu'elle a. Ok, alors... On peut avoir 10 unités. Bah écoutez, très bien. Unité recommandée. Armée, il faut du soin. Bon, on a plutôt une bonne équipe là en fait. C'est plutôt pas mal mon gars. Après j'avoue que j'aimerais bien mettre... Ouais, je vais mettre Narve parce que Narve me soigne aussi. Et il va faire des dégâts. Ok. Écoutez, je pense qu'on peut partir là-dessus. Parce que Corentin serait vraiment utile. Attendez. Voyons voir comment il fout le terrain. Il y aura des ennemis sûrement au-dessus. Il va sûrement y avoir des renforts. Ok. Un petit patriote aussi pour nous enquiquiner. Ok, il y aura un butin à aller chercher là-bas. Ah non, j'ai rien dit, c'est le décor. Ok, donc c'est plutôt du lourd. Ouais, je pense qu'il y aura quand même des renforts. Mais ok. Julio niveau 21. Je vais peut-être le virer. Hein.
If I meet your approval.
My shield is impregnable.
Ok, on va essayer comme ça. Non, quoique Bénédicte, c'est très bien en fait. Pour booster les persos devant. De toute façon, Anna va vite débarquer aussi. Voilà, si les portes sont ouvertes, c'est qu'il va y avoir des renforts. Je suis sûr et certain qu'il va y avoir des renforts. Ok, bon. On est parti comme ça. Let's go.
The Wolfforts are a blight upon this land. A blight I will see cleansed.
En fait, c'est pas plus mal qu'on soit venu là, parce que si Patriot s'attaque à nous... C'est pas plus mal.
Treachery ends here, Patriot! On my house's honor, I swear!
We must bring this conflict to a close. Lord Simon is in no condition to fight.
Come what may, I have to see that Lord Simon and the boy live.
Patriot and his ilk must die. Keep my father alive at all costs.
Time to work.
Il est si mal en point que ça. Ah oui, c'est un sacré PV en fait. Voilà, ça se passe bien. Le temps qu'il descende. Ah! Ok. Très bien.
Shall we dance?
Comment ça marche? Inflige des dégâts de poison. Ouais, mais en fait, je peux pas le... Autant mettre la magie, hein.
I'll punish you.
Voilà.
Ever more lovely.
Par contre, on la récupère niveau 20, quoi. Hein, c'est une blague.
The hunt is on. From this range.
You'll pay for this!
For the honor of House Wolffort. Death from above!
Let us try out their weakness. We must stay vigilant.
My turn.
Endormir les deux, ce serait génial.
Try this.
Ouais, bien, très bien, très bien, très bien. Vas-y, je tente l'autre. 60%. Oh ouais, nickel, Anna, meilleur perso. Meilleur perso, Anna, encore une fois.
Show me what you're made of.
I'll show you what I can do. Lightning! I'll make you proud, grandfather. Let me heal you.
Et le dos. Ouais, on va se mettre là. On va faire une petite accélération sur Serenor. Non, mais pour... Pas compris. On entend qu'il y a un petit peu de retard, mais ça fait de l'XP. Ça va, c'est un bon gros sac à PV le rôle. Oh, c'est raté. Ah, ce serait bête de perdre Anna maintenant. Ils ont 2 tours à chaque fois, ok. Oh non, j'ai perdu Anna. Oh, t'es sérieux? Ah, pourquoi il allait taper
Here I come. I won't miss. Take aim. Victory is ours. I will fight to my last breath. This isn't good.
Milo, elle va pas me servir sur ce combat. Si vous pouvez le paralyser, ce serait cool. Alors non, ça ne passe pas. Alors qui joue après Gila? Ok. Après c'est lui.
Let me heal your wounds. Be at ease.
I'm in your debt.
So, it falls to me.
Je peux tenter un truc, mais ouais, non, c'est pas dingue. Et merde. Donc je vais me mettre là. Parce que là, je le mets... Non, il manque une case. Chier.
Come on. My research bears fruit. Impossible.
Ah mais c'est quoi ces mecs qui esquivent tout là?
You'll pay for this. Don't you underestimate me. My research.
is no mercy on the battlefield.
Tides are turning.
Je sens que ça va être laborieux, mais pas impossible que je réussisse du premier coup. On va voir.
Victory is assured.
For the future of House Wolffort.
Forward.
Ha-ha! I've been waiting for this.
Si vous pouvez le tuer, lui, vas-y. Oui.
Here I come.
Allow me.
This isn't good.
Ouais, comme ça, c'est bien.
House Wolffort shall persevere.
Time for some sorcery.
On rate tout. Génial.
I'm behind you. I appreciate it.
None of you will survive this. This isn't good.
Over here! Together we stand!
C'est pas grave, elle encaisse, elle encaisse. Faut d'abord qu'on élimine ceux avec des épées et tout, là.
Not an option. To lead, I must grow.
Let us pry out their weakness.
Non, je vais pas utiliser ça sur elle, c'est mort. Ça comme ça.
Reverse our fortunes.
The hunt is on.
Lui, j'aimerais bien l'entraver. Ah, c'est raté, t'es sérieux? Ok, donc lui, clairement, il s'en prend au boss. Et merde. Non, bah non, ça servait à rien parce que lui, tu... Ouais, en fait, eux, ils font extrêmement mal. Bon bah, Bénédicte, au revoir. Ils sont tellement forts.
Withdraw yourself at once, Penitent. Be safe, my lord.
I'm back at you. For the honor of House Wolffort.
Ah, ces mecs au couteau, on sait qu'il faut les éliminer.
None of you will survive this. It shall be your undoing.
No, I can.
This battle is ours.
Abusé. Ah, mais c'est des sacs à paix, mais en plus...
I see right through you.
You won't beat me!
You're in! Gotcha! Let me see this through. Ah!
This isn't good. I've never felt
J'aurais dû
better.
peut-être me focus sur Patriarche. Patriate, pardon.
You've done it now!
Ow!
Mais attends, ils peuvent se déplacer 2 fois?
Your wounds are healed.
Well done.
Ah, elle va mourir avec du poison, la blague, quoi.
You'll pay for this. Where shall we strike? Death from above.
Together we stand! Excellent!
Yeah, victory is ours.
C'est pas grave, du moment que...
Excellent!
Mince.
Hurts, don't it? Back at you. You've done it now.
Ils ont le droit à 2 déplacements. Normalement, c'est un déplacement et 2 actions. N'importe quoi. Bon, ce sera laborieux, mais normalement, ça passe. Ils vont s'en prendre à Gila et tout. On a bloqué Patriate dans les escaliers.
Look at me learning.
You're quite formidable. I shall show you how it's done.
Ah merde.
I'm sorry.
This ends here. Die already.
House Wolffort shall persevere! This is good. Me too! This ain't ideal.
Ah, je suis deg.
Now or never.
Maybe next time.
Oh, l'erreur. C'est peut-être leur erreur, c'est peut-être leur erreur. Oh, l'erreur. L'erreur pour eux. Allez, ça meurt.
I pray this was not my only chance to destroy them. Ah, shit.
Ah non, c'est pas fini. Ah mince. Bon, heureusement, il fait le ménage.
This ain't ideal. Time to die! Oh, done it now!
Now I
Pardon.
After me? Are you?
slow.
Me too! This ain't ideal. Time to die!
Defeat is not an option. Now I end this.
House Wolffort shall persevere!
Ok, c'est bon, ça passe. Oh mon dieu, c'était laborieux. Ça passe, c'est l'essentiel. Faudrait vraiment que j'investisse dans des équipements par contre, parce que ça commence à faire mal. Ah, par contre, c'est généreux comme mission. Très généreux, je prends.
Was my sword ever so heavy? Age is a persistent foe. Ah! Ah!
Be strong, father. I shall get you treatment at once.
Serenor, please. If I must go, at least it was alongside you, on the battlefield.
Enough of this talk. You will yet live.
I've seen scores of soldiers perish, my son. Death comes for us all. Does it not, dear Benedict?
Forgive me, my lord. I could not keep you safe.
I beg you, give the three of us a moment together.
As you wish. Erador?
Aye.
Wolfforts are as dangerous as I feared. They must be wiped out for the good of all Glenbrook.
There is no escape, Patriot. Tell me why a royalist like you would attack Lord Simon.
Yes. Why would you threaten to tear asunder a newly restored Glenbrook?
Restored?
Restore to what? The duchy killed your king and controls your land, and you've what, exactly? The collected ashes of the royal family? Those who joined the duchy thrived. Those who resisted were ground beneath their heel. The nobles and commoners have never been further apart, though beneath it all, they are bound not by the king's memory, but greed.
Perhaps, but we can unite them behind King Roland.
The weakest link of them all. The prince who forsook his family, a ruler in nothing but name if the people speak true. The Wolffort reputation stains him, and it shall be his undoing.
So that's your angle.
Enough slander.
You're blind to it, admit it. You rebuffed the Esfrosti army, curried favor with the Saintly Seven, protected Roland, and immediately installed him as king. You think yourselves above the high houses of Glenbrook, nay, above His Majesty himself. Who would not want to rid themselves of such a stain?
You suggest King Roland gave the order?
Would he possess such rationality? We would not be in this mess if he did. Thus I decided to intervene, for the good of the kingdom.
So we need only kill you. That is a mercy.
Only Benedict and I know what I'm about to tell you. I bid you listen well and remain calm. I am not your father, at least not by birth. You are the blood of our former King Ragnar.
What?
I promised His Majesty I would hide the truth from you. Forgive me. Destra was indeed your mother. That much was no lie. She was a commoner in the Crown City.
A woman of little means and low station, but possessed of unparalleled intellect and boundless affection. He would often sneak out into the city in disguise. Fate united them on one of those evenings, and they fell in love. Thus, you were brought into the world.
He wished to marry her, but her low station made that unthinkable. In time, the Royalists found out and plotted her murder.
So Lord Simon took her as his wife to keep her safe.
And so I was born the heir of House Wolffort.
Sadly, your dear mother passed not long after you were born. It was she who named you. It was the one thing she was able to pass down to you. And now I leave you this.
The royal signet.
Only one of Glenbrook's royal line may wear it. I was to keep it until the time was right. And so it is now.
Father, you leave me completely unmoored. What am I to do with this unspeakable knowledge?
I leave you with a heavy burden. This I know better than any. Be strong, Serenor. Forge your own path. Lead the people. Keep watch over him, Benedict.
I will.
No, Father. Stay with me. Please.
All this and still, you call me father. I am proud of you, my son.
Please don't go. Father! Please!
So Patriat meant to eliminate House Wolffort to protect the crown.
Yes, he admitted as much himself.
I can assure you he acted alone. King Roland was not a party to the plot.
That is fortunate, yes. But the mere fact of it could tear Glenbrook apart, were it to be made known. Lord Simon's assassination must be kept secret, my lord.
You would have me say his illness claimed him, then?
I thank you for your assistance, Milo. Speak not a word of this to anyone.
I shan't. For the good of House Wolffort.
I cannot fathom why he thought us to be enemies. We mean no harm to the royal family.
Misplaced as his fears may be, we must stand ready to defend ourselves, in word and deed, from any who may reach similar conclusions. That includes King Roland himself.
You heard Anna. Roland didn't issue the order. What are you plotting, Benedict?
I seek only to ensure House Wolffort's survival. Lord Simon was murdered. Other enemies may well be within our ranks as we speak. They must be stopped at all costs, no matter who they are.
Can I count on your continued guidance, Benedict?
Glenbrook's throne is yours for the taking. You have the claim and the might to back it up. Your Lord Father beseeched you to forge your own path and lead the people. Might you not best accomplish that if you were king?
Perhaps. But I would sooner fall upon my own sword than usurp the throne from my friend. The truth of my lineage does not leave this room. I shall keep it hidden along with this ring.
As you wish, my lord. I trust your judgment.
I come bearing a missive from King Roland. He requests your presence in the Crown City immediately. The Esfrosti survivors are on the move.
They leave me no time to mourn. Lead the way.
Oh, les révélations! Ah ouais! Ah ouais! Ah la vache! Ah ouais! Bon bah écoutez, fin de l'acte 2, peut-être un acte 3 derrière. Écoutez, on va savoir ça tout de suite, sinon. Merci d'avoir suivi ce chapitre 15, fin en rebondissement. Et on se retrouve très bientôt donc pour la suite et peut-être fin, je sais pas, peut-être encore 4-5 chapitres, un peu plus peut-être. Et on a dépassé les 30 heures de jeu. C'était le Gal 29 pour RPG Univers.
Roland, Benedict, and Frederica regroup back in the capital. But what they experienced while they were away very well alter the course of destiny itself.
Chapitre 15, acte 3. Destin.
Is there something on your mind, Roland?
Serenor, I do not know what I should do.
Did something happen in the capital?
No, that problem has been dealt with. I've made sure those damned royalists will never cause trouble again.
Was such harsh punishment truly necessary?
Of course it was. When they should have been helping to rebuild the kingdom, they instead profited off the people's hardship. And on top of that, they sought to string me up as their puppet king.
I understand, but...
You know what they told me? They said that is what Glenbrook truly is. That it must be ruled with the royalists' careful mediation between the royal family and their loyal subjects. They said good kings need not think for themselves. They said my father and my brother understood that.
Even if that is true, you have the power to change it.
I tried. That is the entire reason I took the throne. But nothing has changed. No matter how many corrupt aristocrats I've cast out. This kingdom has always been broken. As Frost's invasion just ensured we could never put the pieces back together. I do not have the strength to reconcile a land and people torn apart by hatred and greed. I cannot give Glenbrook what it needs, king though I may be.
Roland.
Apologies, my friend. I should not burden you with my woes.
You burden me with nothing. But if you are struggling...
All is well. Trust me. So long as you are by my side.
Roland fait de nouveau partie de votre équipe. Frédérica dans cette histoire?
Serenor, I would speak with you before we meet with the others.
Is something the matter? I was led to believe the Rozellien village escaped all but unscathed.
Pray, look at this.
A book?
We recovered it from a band of brigands. It once belonged to the Esfrosti archives. It was authored by one Orlea, my mother. Inside is the truth about the Rozelle. Nay, about all Norzélia.
The truth? How would your mother have that knowledge?
The Rozellien people have long passed down the secret of the salt. My mother was a chosen keeper of that history. In ancient times, the Rozelle lived in the southernmost reaches of Norzélia, in a place called Centralia. It is said Centralia was on the shore of a vast expanse of salt water they called the sea. Back then, the Norzélia we know was at the bottom of that sea, but a cataclysm dried up all the water, and thus this land came to be. The salt crystallized and sank into the earth, the very earth we now walk upon.
Salt beneath our feet.
After the cataclysm, only one small lake of salt remained. War raged on and on as people fought to control it. The Rozelle tried to stop the fighting by digging up a giant pillar of salt to show everyone the secret they had long kept. But Hyzant, whose power over Norzélia came from controlling the lake and the salt it produced, could not allow the truth to get out. They captured the Rozelle, branded them criminals who tried to seize control of the salt for themselves, and confined them to the lake.
And what of the pillar?
Hyzant stole it and hid it inside the very statue of the goddess that towers over the source.
How can you be certain?
During the uprising, my mother broke the statue and recovered a fragment of the pillar within.
The salt crystal found in the Rozellien village. Incredible. If what you say is true, the teachings are a lie. This will shake Hyzant to its very foundations.
And we would be able to free the Rozelle from their imprisonment at the source.
With so much at stake, we must be careful in what we do now. Frederica, I would ask for more time to think this through.
Of course. I have every faith in House Wolffort. And in you.
Là, ça commence à faire beaucoup d'infos quand même.
That is the extent of what happened during our various endeavors. The passing of my Lord Father, the Royalist scandal, and the book that revealed the truth about the Rozelle and the Salt. It is time we consider what we shall do to overcome these obstacles facing us.
I still cannot believe how quickly Lord Simon's condition worsened.
It is most devastating. Serenor, did your father say nothing else to you? Before he
bade me lead House Wolffort well.
I see. Then we must all do what we can to help you honor that request.
Your Majesty, what do you plan to do about the Royalists who misappropriated supplies?
As far as I've been able to discern, those involved acted out of greed and self-interest. They must all be punished. Nothing less than exile from the kingdom or execution will suffice.
But there are those among them who support the Glenbrook line. Will that not impact your governance?
Perhaps. But to pardon their crimes would kindle the people's ire. We must make an example of them. To appease the people. To make clear the consequences of engaging in such foolhardy behavior.
Did something else happen in the capital, King Roland?
Nothing you need concern yourself with. But I must say, I was shocked to learn of that Rozellien legend. Do you suppose the contents of that book could be true?
The part about their homeland, Centralia, that sits upon a vast saltwater sea? That of the untapped salt crystals beneath Norzélia? Or that, in order to monopolize the salt trade, Hyzant fabricated the Rozelle's sins? That the pillar of salt Hyzant stole from the Rozelle is hidden within the statue of the goddess? If any of it is true, it would turn everything we know on its head. It would mean the teachings of the Holy State are not but lies.
It does sound unbelievable, but we have already seen part of this legend for ourselves.
The crystal from the Rozellien village?
That crystal is a fragment from the pillar within the statue of the goddess. One my mother obtained during the uprising.
It fits perfectly.
Apparently, Lady Orlea penned the book detailing the legend for Frederica.
She did. She enchanted it so no one could open it, but left me the key to break the spell. This pendant.
I doubt a mother would go to such lengths to lie to her daughter.
Then we agree the legend contains at least a seed of truth.
Your Majesty, we have received word that the survivors of the Duchy's army are amassing.
What? Where?
At the Grand Norzelian mines. But we cannot be sure what they are doing. None of our scouts have returned.
Those frosty dogs. We will speak later, Serenor. First, we must put down whatever the Duchy is planning at the mines. I need you and your people beside me.
Of course. We shall ready ourselves for the battle at once.
Au même moment, dans la nouvelle mine.
Extraction is nearly finished. We've secured the amount we were told. Seems such a waste to just leave the rest.
Don't think Archduke Gustadolf gives two shites. Hurry it up. We need to be done here before Glenbrook catches on to us.
Sir.
Probablement la fin du chapitre 15. Incroyable. C'était le gars 29 pour RPG Univers. Salut.